Today, we are witnessing the installation of 10 side accommodation cabins near Stockholm in Sweden. Now, placing the cabins sounds straightforward, but when you combine limited space, heavy loads and the need for precise positioning between trees and the buildings, the whole process becomes entirely different story. To see how it's done, we've joined Jonas from Transport with his Fassi F1450 techno crane mounted on a Volvo FH 540 8x2 to work on this project. We will be following the lift from start to finish and explore some of the techniques, decisions and the planning that makes this job possible. So let's go ahead and meet Jonas in his lifting zone.
Good morning everyone from the not so sunny Sweden. This time we are reporting from west of Stockholm. We are following for the day Jonas from Transport and his Volvo FH low cab with a Fassi F1450 HXP, the third one in Sweden and the first one on the east coast of Sweden. Jonas is setting up the array of cabins, 5 on the bottom and 5 on the top. In the meantime, he has to remove the temporary toilets blocks which are on the wheels on the trailers before we can proceed building up the stack of 10 cabins. In order to do that, you can see here the foundation which was preset and leveled, so they don't have to worry about leveling the cabins each time it lands. So basically just goes there. All you have to do is connect it up. Basically the process looks like this. He's gonna he just put the first cabin in, he's gonna put another cabin on top of this one, and then he's gonna work backwards until he runs out of steam, because some cabins can be as heavy as 4 tons and others can be as heavy as 8 tons, depends on the equipment inside. So if he runs out of steam, he's gonna de-rig the crane, move it back and finish off the job. That's the starters. We wish the weather was showing us otherwise. We were hoping for a bit of more sunshine. It's middle of May and it feels like January, unfortunately, but hey, it is. This is the realism of the job. For example, here, the site is basically set up in order to do some renovation on the outside of this high-rise building. The cladding will be put around it to keep it modern and probably insulated. As you can see, the operator is working in the confined space. He's got trees against him, so he's only got this gap to feed cabins which are arriving on other wagons through the narrow gate. Some wagons turned up with the trailers, and the access point is not big enough for the wagons to bring the trailers in. Therefore they dropped the trailer. They were lucky enough to actually have the space to drop the trailer, put the first cabin in, and then they will have to go out, transship the trailer, the cabin from the trailer onto the truck and bring it again, each time until all the process is completed. Let's find out what happens next. Here's a little bit of the Here's a little bit of the update on today's lifting operation. Finally, we've got a little bit of the gap between rain and rain, so it's not raining currently. Jonas had to reposition the crane back a bit. He currently placed 3 cabins at the back of the site. Now he's waiting for the further cabins to arrive, and in the meantime he had to create the gap between the crane column and the trees, because as he repositioned the crane further down towards the exit of an entrance to the site, he got closer to the trees, so we had to create a space for the cabins to be slewed in between the columns and the trees and position them here on this pre-made foundations. There are 3 cabins, toilet cabins with the wheels on. They have been removed from site because they're no longer needed, and that's that. We're gonna see how the other cabins are arriving and how they are being positioned. We'll tell you in a little bit more about the difference of the staircases applied on these cabins. They're slightly different to what we, for example, use in the UK. As you can see here, these staircases are quite different. Look at this lightweight design. They're galvanized steel with corrugated steps. They are easier to position because they've already got lifting lugs on the bottom and on the top. So that's easier rather than strangling each steps for lifting, for the installation purposes. And also, you can notice in the UK you've got platform, and the platform has 2 posts usually. And in this case, the posts for the platform are gone. Instead, the platform is being fixed with horizontal struts coming out of the platform to the side and fitting into the fork pockets for the cabin above. Why I think it's a better idea? Because, for example, when you've got the doorways here, when you open them, you don't run into the posts that are basically in a way, for example, of fire or emergency phone call or something like that. Then you have to come out of the cabin and run into the posts. Here are gone, and your open space is unlimited. Here's a couple of points we wanted to touch upon. First of all, because of the integration of front-mounted stabilizer legs system on this build, this job is possible because, as you can see, this site has some constraints. Because of the narrow nature of this site, he had to feed the cabin from the back of the truck, between the trees and in front of his truck. And thanks to the front legs, it's possible to do it. Another thing that is helpful here is the fly jib, which is the LH26, which is the heaviest out of the range of the Fassi fly jibs. This fly jib serves 2 purposes. First of all, as you can see, it's a ballast. The weight of the fly jib is around 1.4 tons, maybe 1.5 if I'm right. Set further away from the crane ring to increase the stability duties, especially when lifting over the front, because that 1 something tons extra weight on the back of the crane gives 100% lifting duty over the front. The second reason is when you turn up to site and the variables can change and you don't know exactly how the day is going to unfold. And if, for example, site manager says, can you just lift something that is 30 meters away? That's why you've got a ballast that can be activated whenever the need arises. You put it onto the main boom, join it together, and this becomes additional arm, increasing the reach of another maybe 13 meters. Plus, this fly jib also has, apart from 6 hydraulic extensions, also has 3 manuals which are nested inside the last extension. been a wet and windy day, and here we've got the last batch of cabins that arrived to complete the stack of 10 cabins. Here is the single one, which is about to be reversed into the tight gate, and then further down there's another 2, and that will be the job done for today. So, the job is completed with the one more step, actually finishing off with the steps so the employees and whoever is going to be working on the top floor is going to access the cabins. The last cabin has been landed by the very experienced operator Jonas. You can follow him somewhere on the links below and in the description. He's very active on Instagram and also known as Crane Mafia at TikTok.
That's another successful lift completed. This was something slightly different. Instead of standing next to the truck, we are sitting in the middle of the forest to keep it a bit more natural. A huge thank you to Jonas and his team for allowing us to spend a day with them and to see the project up close. But our visit isn't over yet. In the next episode, we'll sit down with Jonas and have a closer look on his amazing build, discussing some of the features, solutions and experiences behind the truck. If you don't want to miss that conversation, make sure you're subscribed. In the meantime, thank you for watching, and as always, keep on lifting.